I have never done it so that I can relate. Or some people just go back and eat up your family. Some would even appear to stand up for justice. When even like the car they rushing to eat it. It's like this disease catching everybody, making them lose principle and morality. But trust me, the evil you indulge in today, sooner or later you have to pay. Everybody promise you are this way to be a good young dog. Brian say he are a big police route and he hate his family. People make their scientists that he tell them the police. I didn't know minister keep in bed when it's them that should be in jail. So open our eyes and stop murder and slackness will put us at that place. They are married and the police do anything that they ask. Them man, think that man.
Looking through a broken glass, staring at my future. I'm wondering what this life will bring. Political bias and ideology have become a hindrance to nation building. We need solutions to benefit the nation. No partiality, we are one family. Reach up for photo labor, all this suffer show. I know we are the believers. I'm a child of a warrior. I'm calling a rock, defending Dominica. I'm a child of survivor. Dollar and Japan, fighting for freedom. Many ask what's my vision for this country. I want to set my people free. Oh, set my people free. What's that? Set my people free. People of the nature, I listen and hear me well. Only time will tell it here. It's really hell. The system not blowing. Beat their part of the shade. Only little sorry. No transport for my family. We need change. The tyranny on the front line. Hoping soon is walking daddy's shoes. The solution may well be revolution. So when you're ready, call on me. I'm a child of a warrior. From my sleep, defending my property. I'm a child of survivor. A truck driver fighting for employment. Many ask what's my mission in this country. I want to set my people free. Whoa. Set my people free. Oh, set my people free. What's that? Set my people free. Hand in hand together now, let us build the country. A better Dominica, a better future. With agriculture, we can nurture the economy. Raise up the GDP, more jobs for you and me. Soil and water, our primary commodity. Farming should be the confidence. Feeding the world. Fighting a battle in my boots and my cutlass for the youth them. For tomorrow, I'm a child of a warrior. I'm from a feeding Dominica. I am a child of survivor. Walking the land, planting my destiny. Many ask what my mission in this country. I come in to set my people free. Yeah, I'm here. My people free. Set my people free. Set my people. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Hey, 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 hey. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here I am again. They keep singing up the Good afternoon to you, Dominica. Good afternoon to you. And welcome. Welcome to the Talk on the Block. If it's on the block, we'll talk about it. I'm going to start off with, of course, a call for us to stand, for the patriots to stand, for those concerned about electoral reform. The true electoral reform on a level playing field. Wednesday is the day the civic groups, the political groups, is calling on all Dominicans to stand up for the country. Let's listen again to Mr. Lennox Linton, the president of the United Workers' Party.
Dominica, big things are going. 19th of March, 2025. We the people will assemble outside of the nation's parliament to show we are in charge of our destiny and to set the agenda for change that will bring Dominica from beggar days to better days. We stand to take control because elections in Dominica over the past 20 years under the governance of the Dominica Labour Party have not been fair and the consequences have been brutal. The laws to be debated in Parliament on March 19th will not make the electoral system fit for the purpose of fair elections. The overall purpose of the changes to the House of Assembly Elections Act and the Registration of Electors Act and the proposed Electoral Commission Act is to ensure unfair elections for the benefit of the ruling Dominica Labour Party as the norm in Dominica. Under the proposed laws, The electoral process will remain tainted with rules that allow for blatant violations of fair electoral practice and procedures. The proposed laws support an unfair system for electing members to parliament. In this unfair system, the voters list, the foundation of the electoral process, will include persons who are no longer eligible to vote based on the constitutional requirement of residency in Dominica. In this unfair system, persons who are not resident in Dominica will vote for representation in the Parliament of Dominica where they cannot be represented against the interests of resident Dominicans who have to live with the consequences of election results. In this unfair system, persons not resident in Dominica will be bribed with payment of their transportation expenses and gifts of money to vote for representation in the Parliament where they cannot be represented against the interests of resident Dominicans who have to live with the consequences of election results. In this unfair system, ruling party bribery and treating will be settled practices, providing money, gifts, free travel, free entertainment, goods and services in exchange for votes. In this unfair system, there is no provision to eliminate one, the abuse of state resources such as public funds or government operated facilities to support the ruling party and its candidates, and two, clear breaches of civil service staff regulations where public servants are openly supportive of the ruling party. In this unfair system, there is no restriction on election campaign spending, no regulation of sources of election campaign funding, and no provisions against money having controlling influence in our political system, thereby allowing elections to be determined and or purchased by big money interest or criminal enterprises. In this unfair system, there will be ruling party interference with vote counts in constituencies declared for the opposition, altering the results at polling stations, or during recounts where votes are counted over and over and over until the numbers are made to favor the ruling party. In this unfair system, there are no provisions for obligating radio, TV, newspaper, and other public communication bodies to ensure that political parties and any independent candidates participating in elections have equal access to all media during the campaign period. In this unfair system, the Electoral Commission, mandated by the Constitution to function independently, will continue to operate under the direction and control of the ruling party. For the better part of the last 2 decades, calls for electoral reform, including a clean voters list and voter ID requirements, have been consistently ignored or delayed by the ruling party. The proposed new and revised election laws fall short of addressing the critical matter of removing the taints on the electoral process to clear the way for fair elections in Dominica. On March 19th, 2025, as we face this existential threat to the democratic way of life we hold dear, we the people must assemble in the largest numbers ever outside of Parliament to establish our power and authority and to demand laws for fair elections. The lack of fair elections has turned Dominica into a de facto one-party state. The right to decide who serves in government has been taken away from the people by one man who wants to stay in power forever. Government of unfair elections is not accountable to the people. Over $8 billion of the people's money from the sale of the people's passports are under the custody and control of foreign friends of the dictatorial regime born out of unfair elections. Hundreds of millions of dollars leave Dominica every single year through the employment of foreign nationals in jobs that Dominicans are willing and able to do. Government of unfair elections is not working for the people. Government ministers of unfair elections are working for their own personal enrichment while making people poorer. No real growth in the economy, agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, services, all in stagnation or on life support. Unemployment is rising. The purchasing power of wages and salaries is declining. Everybody brokes. The struggle to meet the cost of living, food, clothing, shelter, transportation, lights, water, telephone, medicine, school fees, and school supplies just keeps getting harder and harder. On March 19th, 2025, we come together from every corner of Dominica to put government in its rightful place as a servant of the people committed to doing the people's work, beginning with proper electoral reform for fair elections. If not, then by any means necessary, this regime of unfair elections will have to go.
As I said, we just heard there from the president of the United Workers' Party that you should stand for electoral reform. This week, I saw a headline on the newspaper: political parties plan protest action. The civic groups are always also on board. So, a coalition of political parties and civic society organizations is mobilizing for a major protest against three continuous electoral reform bills set to be debated before Parliament on March 19th, Wednesday. Again, the protest is spearheaded by the Electoral Reform Coalition, the Opposition United Workers' Party, and other political groups. The objective: to pressure the government into amending the registration of voters and media access provisions to include campaign financing reform. On the telephone with me, of course, a major fundraising activity took place yesterday right here on this radio station, Q95. And one of the persons leading that fundraising activity was Brother Zed Lloyd out of the diaspora. I'm being told more fundraising activities may be planned for this weekend. Brother Zed Lloyd is on the telephone with me. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Lloyd. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, brother, and good afternoon to Q family. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Good afternoon.
Nice presentation, brother Lennox.
All right. So tell me, what's going on this weekend? I know you guys are planning more activities in terms of raising awareness.
Yeah. We think the awareness is the most critical factor, because what has been happening is this government addresses Dominican people through a political party apparatus. There is this understanding in Dominica by the DLP that we have a majority in parliament, and because we have a majority in parliament, we can do what the hell we want in the country because we are the government. And that is not the process of governance. The process of governance is a process of respect between citizenry and government. And that is absent in Dominica because this government thinks as long as I catch the UWP with their pants down, I can do whatever the hell I want with the people's business. We come to put a stop to that. We come seeing things done. We have issues. Nobody's answering. As long as you're in parliament and you have 18 people seats, you can do what the hell you want. We come to change that. So we want the folks to listen in tonight. This weekend, there'll be trucks moving around the country promoting this thing. We want to ask the people, use your cell phones, call a friend, let a friend know, even those in the diaspora, use your contact list. We want no excuse. We want nobody to say that they did not know. We want everybody to know that we're going to stand. We're going to stand. We're not coming to burn Rosso. We're not coming to destroy people's businesses. We're not coming to do any of those things. The ammunition we're going to have on Wednesday, March 19, is our volume. That's our ammunition, an ammunition that the police has to respect and the government has to listen to, or else. It's as simple as that. We're tired in this country of not being able to talk to our government. We're tired. We're tired. This evening, 6 o'clock to 8 p.m.
I'm being told that you might have a simulcast with some other radio station. Is that factual?
Yes. Thanks to the people's contribution, we're able to buy some time on Kyrie. We think the conversation has to go beyond the choir. Beyond the choir. A lot of labor rights are feeling it too, man. Everybody's feeling it in the country. And people want to stand up, but they want to see a mass. They want to feel empowered. And that's why we have made this thing wider and broader and more public and a little more advanced than the last minute thing at putting 20 people in front of Parliament. We don't want no 20 people in front of Parliament. We want to send a message to the government that we, the citizens of Dominica, we matter. We matter. And it is time, I don't care whether you're in blue or in red. Dominica, we gathering under Wednesday, March 19th. Dominica, put your flag on you, carry your flag. Dominica, because it's about time. It's been 20 years where we have a government that is just not responding to us, bro. Not responding. Not about our health and the national health care system, not about our employment, a 30, 40%, 70% relationship that our young people must get a job when we pay loans to Chinese governments for money in our land. We must get work. We should have a 60%, 70% protection for our locals, that we must work on these projects. It's not optional. We cannot be paying loans as people in the future and our children have not been employed on these construction sites. It makes no sense. We have $1 billion airport running in Dominica, and our locals are not. You're not feeling it in the villages. You're not feeling it in the store. You're not feeling it in the supermarket. You're not feeling it. Something's wrong with that relationship. That kind of money cannot be spent in a country that has 50,000 people and it's not transforming lives. You understand? March 19. We're standing up in front of Parliament.
Let me ask you again. So you're saying your program tonight will be broadcast, simulcast with Kyrie FM. From what time?
Yes. For the first time, we're gonna pull that off. We're gonna do that. We have to reach a broader audience. We have to talk to our brothers and sisters on the other side. We have to talk to them because they're caught up in this political thing. This is not a political thing. 20 years, the money is still going uptown. Look at the hood. Look at Newtown. Look at the hood. Take a look at it. Look at Silver Lake. Where's the love? Where's the love? We ain't all this love on Kyrie. The Prime Minister love. The Prime Minister. Where is the love? Where is the love? The ghetto still looks like a ghetto. Billions of dollars of passport money. The ghetto still looks like a ghetto. Still run down. No money coming to the hood. Melissa them coming them little checks, 1,000. They shatter them. I talking to you this afternoon. They shatter them in the hood. I talking to you this afternoon. You hear me? The man them utilizing man for liquor money and crippling the rest of the hood. There's no money coming to the hood to transform our lives, brethren. I'm calling on the man them. Stand up. Come up the block on 19. You hear me? This is ghetto people business.
What time?
Ghetto people business.
What time is the program tonight?
It's 6 to 8.
6 to 8. All right.
Yeah, and we have a surprising young lady too. We coming across the board. But we're going to talk to young people tonight.
So you have Mr. Dice on board, you have Mr. Paris on board, another young lady you said.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, surprise guest. We're gonna have a nice conversation. We're gonna talk about young people and how better can be done. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Thank you, sir.
One love.
One love.
Whoa, I had a dream.
The young people will be the focus tonight.
Whoa, once I had a dream.
Good news to hear that The radio station Kyrie FM will do a spontaneous broadcast tonight from 6 to 8.
Shape the future for you and me through the right decisions, policies, and leadership.
Killing my dreams, huh?
They can either empower the young people or create barriers that will stifle our ambitions and potential to be the best we can be. So, Mr. PM, what's going on? The more we try and try, distance taking down. You created an illusion, an imagination of a bright, prosperous, wealthy nation.
Someone is saying, bring your flags and fly it upside down. Why upside down?
We had plenty hope, but no, we can't cope. You're a dream killer.
1:31 is the afternoon time. Next to a few calls. Yes, good morning. Good afternoon, son.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Why you inside me down like that? Raise up your voice and rejoice, man.
Good afternoon to you, Lucille. You want to hear?
Thank you, that's better. Matt,
yes.
I didn't, what's his name? Ted Lloyd and I couldn't see eye to eye because he was just telling us, go on the road and whatever. But now I can see his hands in it. He's doing his work.
All right.
Thank you, Ted Lloyd.
Politicians hold significant power.
All right. Lucille want to hear my voice at the top of my voice, huh?
Right decisions, policies, and leadership.
I have many program directors and many voice controllers. Oh boy, I'm only one Matt, huh?
And potential to be the best we can be. So, Mr. PM, what's going on? The more we try.
Oh yes, it will be aired on Q95 and of course simultaneously will be on Kyrie FM. That's what Mr. Zoid Lloyd was trying to say this after a few minutes ago.
Don't call you a mama guy, I call you a heartbreaker and a dream killer. We had plenty hope, but no, we can't cope. You're a dream killer. Disregard of mental health while you busy gaining wealth. You're a dream killer. From the NEP, working for small money. You're a dream killer. You present a lot of things we believe in.
Let's go to the telephone at this time. Hello, talk to me. Yes? Hello.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, brother. How are you? How are you? Yes.
Well, Matt, I'm there in spite of the challenges, but I'm holding on.
Okay.
And I'm asking Dominicans to hold on as well. And I just want to echo the sentiment of Honorable Leonard Clinton and also Brother Zed Lloyd earlier, asking all the people of Dominica, all the conscious people of Dominica, that we need to assemble next Wednesday outside of our parliament to speak to our government as to the way our country should be running. I just want to correct one thing that Brother Zed Lloyd said. Tonight, the simulcast at Kyrie FM will be from 6 to 7, so that is 1 hour. Again, I want to repeat, the simulcast with Kyrie will be from 6 to 7, but the program on Q95, the live program, will be from 6 to 8. So which means I'll be asking all the Kyrie FM listeners, if they want to continue, they can follow us on Q95 page and also the Q95 radio station live.
Thank you, Lofty. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dream killer. We had plenty hope, but no, we can't cope. You're a dream killer. Disregard of mental health while you busy getting well. You're a dream killer. From Coming NEP, working for small money. You're a dream killer.
Hello, yes?
Mato, don't mind me, you know that's how I am. I just like to hear your voice. Boom.
Boom, okay. All right. Take care now. Bye-bye. Oh, she is my voice of the Vavoom, man. Some energy.
Oh, you feel it, I had a dream. I have a dream.
Lucille, I was reminded that you like things real, huh? No fake. No toys. So because that's easier.
But consider yourself as a young man, stuck in the cycle of stagnation, where corruption creates imitation and overwhelming sense of frustration. Every day he faces the harsh reality. He cannot provide for his family, losing his dignity and his sanity while still waiting for his opportunity. Some call you a blood sucker, I call you a heartbreaker and a dream killer. We had plenty hope, but no, we can't cope. You're a dream killer. Regard of mental health while you busy getting well. You're a dream killer. Stuck in NEP, working for small money. You're a dream killer. You present a lot of things, we believe in you. No over like passing by, nothing coming through. Who can run will run, who cannot will stay. Waiting for election day to get to
Let's see who shows up there on Wednesday the 19th.
Oh, I had a dream. Boy, once I had a dream. Politicians hold significant.
Of course,
the future for you.
The heart of the controversy are the registration of electors bill, the electoral commission bill, and the House of Assembly elections bill.
Young people, or create barriers that will stifle.
Mr. Scarris claims that
and potential to be the best we can be. So Mr. PM,
he needs to modernize the Dominican electoral system. However, the critics claim or argue that these bills omit critical safeguards to ensure free and fair elections. Hello, talk to me. Yes. Good afternoon. Are you there? Yes?
Matt, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, brother. I'm hanging in there.
All right. You must do better than hanging in there, Matt.
All right.
Matt, I want to add my voice to the call for the people of the lovely Commonwealth to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
And stand up for not just...
I see you're done with that flu as well, huh?
Yeah, I've been done with that flu from Monday evening, Matt, and I tell you something, I'm fighting it terribly. And that's why I have not been in the place all the time. I couldn't do my program on the
okay, we understand.
And I'm just trying to recoup.
But
I was saying that people need to stand up this time for free and fair elections. And I stopped using it to electoral reform because that is the same term that the government is using and what they're doing is not free and fair. Right? And the two most critical things in there is the cleaning up of the voters list, removing the people who are ineligible to vote, as well as making sure that we have campaign finance reform law. Because like I've often said, those two is the nexus that creates an opportunity for the stealing of elections. That you can bring in the people you want, put them in the constituency you want, because you have a largesse of state money to do what you want. And these people that you want on the list, that you just call back in to vote for you, come in and corrupt the whole process. And that is important. Now, why is it even more important, Matt? It's important because if people are satisfied that all is well in Dominica, then we should let Scrooge keep the elections. But if people are reasonably satisfied that we have a broken health system, we have a broken education system, we have a broken institutional system, everything around us that the government has its hands in is broken. And this government has done everything in its power to bring everything under its control, Matt. And because of that, everything is broken. We need to make sure that we have a free and fair system so that we can have a just and equitable country to live in. So people must go there and stand. Even if you say nothing, just go there, be present in the place and stand to say, we need to correct this thing that has been wrong for too many years. And so I advise people, I encourage people to ensure that you go and show your face, put your support, because if you don't, and these laws are passed as is, then we're in trouble. Finally, Matt, I want to say that it's strange, but it's in Roosevelt's carriage style that we do not know yet what's going to Parliament.
Okay.
Right? Because what was presented and what was online is what everybody else apart from the Labour Party is saying we will change. The Labour Party is the only people saying we're going to keep it. So that which is going to Parliament, we're not even sure. And I understand that not even the parliamentarians have the final draft of the law that's going to Parliament, which says that there is some secrecy about this thing. And if there's secrecy, then there's always a nefarious attitude, if you like, a nefarious plan when there's secrecy. And so I would ask the government as well to make the thing public now, publish the thing before Monday. Let us read it so we can know what you put in there. Otherwise, we will assume that what you have inside there is everything we don't want, and that's why you want to bring it in secrecy. So, notwithstanding everything that I've said, I ask people to keep standing for this. That might be our last battle, but it might be our determining battle as to where this country goes, whether it goes well in a handbasket, or in fact it is rescued in a true democratic style.
Well,
and I urge people.
Will Pastor Rodney show his face in the place?
Oh, certainly. Pastor Rodney will be at the demonstration, man. There's no doubt or ifs or buts about that.
You're standing for country.
I need to. That's where I live. I have no second citizenship, man. That's my only citizenship. I have to stand for this country because that's where I plan to live and die.
You've heard the discussion, Pastor, before you go. You've heard the discussion, Cuba and the regional leaders may have to give up their relationship or the U.S. visa, if they continue to have relationships with Cuba. Any stand on this one? Should we speak out?
But Matt, if we don't, if they come for the Jews and you don't speak out because you're a Jew, and they came for the Christian and you don't speak out because you're a Christian, when they come for you, who will stand for you? Who will stand for you? Here are the facts about this. The Republican Party in the U.S. have always been the most militant and warlike. Okay, now I've supported a lot of the stance of the Republican in terms of their religious stance. So I need to give it a balance as well. But I'm not one of those who support anybody blindly. Donald Trump, I've always said, he doesn't have presidential decorum. Donald Trump is a businessman, and he operates like that. And right now, he has gone back to his days of acting. You're fired. That's what he has gone to. And he has Elon Musk on his side, who is a native South African, and who's now the biggest American as a South African, mind you, on his side doing this. Here's the thing. The countries of the region some of them, by their words, they say one thing, by their actions, they do something else. So one time, for example, in Dominica, we used to say that we are friends of all and satellites of none. Well, Dominicans have proven that that's not true, right? We have become satellites of the Chinese. We have become satellites of the Venezuelans, for example, right? But we are friends of all. What Donald Trump is actually saying is he will decide who you have to be a friend of. And we cannot sit down and play nice about this. And I agree with both Ralph Gonzalez and Mia Motley, who I think are two stern Caribbean leaders who said, both of them said, that no, we're not going to do this if we have a council of...
I think Mr. Trinidadian Prime Minister Rowley added his voice as well.
Right. But you see, the rest are slow in coming because, you know, the usual thing is that we have been afraid of the big U.S. because we have not taken time to develop our own economies so we can stand our own bottom. Let me tell you something, Mark. When you look at Cuba, you have to be proud of Cuba, you know.
Of course.
And if people know the history, you have to be proud of Cuba. Cuba took care of its people to the point where, at one point, Bill O'Reilly a few years ago used to say that the health sector in Cuba was better than the U.S. Right? Now, when you look at the facts, you have to agree that that is true. Why? Because you have less poverty in Cuba. You have Cuban people getting their medical attention for free in Cuba across the board. Now, in certain areas, in terms of a free market economy, you might feel that they're not doing what the rest of the world want them to do. But in taking care of their people, they have done it, and I give them applause for doing it, Matt.
All right, Pastor.
And if you ask me, it's because they have decided to use their resources to grow their people. We are not doing that. We are waiting on people to give us hand-me-downs to take care of our people, and we will never be independent if we keep doing that. We need to follow the Cuban model if we really want to take care of our people.
Well,
right,
well, it means that they are between a rock and a hard place. They will have to give up their visas, huh?
Well, listen. Here's what happens to bullies, man. You know, when you stand up to bullies, they run. You know, right? It's only when you cower in fright, right? They come and bully you. But when you stand up to bullies, they know that they can't beat you. They run. Why do you think Trump has changed his mind about the tariffs from Canada from time to time? He stayed them, he put them, because the Canadians decide, you're going to bully us, man. You're not going to do that. We will use whatever power we have to respond to you. And I'm saying, CARICOM as a block. We need to stand up to say, we don't have all the minerals and money you have, but we have our dignity. And we're going to stand up with Cuba. We're going to stand up as people who believe in something. Cuba survived for what, 60-something years now, you know, man? Right? Even after the embargo on Cuba, they have survived and they have done well for themselves. So if we have to do that, I think that's where we have to go. We have to stop playing nice boy to the Americans or to whoever and play for our people, for the benefit of our people. And that's my stance.
Yeah, and while I agree with you, Pastor, I mean, somebody's making the point. Like, for example, Mia Motley, she says she's almost prepared to to give away a visa to stand with the Cuban people, but it would be committing suicide there because you have Ross University there, and a lot of tourist ships are going there. So American just decide, well, that's how you want to play it. Let's remove Ross, and the embassy in Barbados.
Yeah, but that is one part. No, it's a significant part that grows their GDP. But here's what Barbados is able to do. You know that Barbados is building electric cars for an offshore company.
Mm-hmm.
Barbados has been able to use their nothingness, if I may put it that way, to grow Barbados. In Dominica, if you ask me, we have so much more that we can use to grow Dominica, yet we are waiting on a passport sale and we are waiting on the Chinese to do everything for us. We have become more dependent than we have ever been in our lives, Matt. Right? And maybe that's why our Prime Minister cannot respond yet, because he's in a worse position than Mia Motley. So Mia Motley will have, it will be tough, it will be difficult, and we all know that, but she's totally not going to die. The people in Barbados won't die. And if CARICOM comes together as a grouping, here's what I've always said, and I said that in a forum a few years ago in Anguilla, I think Mr. Daru was there as minister at the time. Here's what I said in that forum. If CARICOM comes together and we understand that we must be interdependent, man, we can live very well in CARICOM, you know. Not all of us can do everything, and what we have done is we have tried to do everything. Look at Antigua is trying to do agriculture on a piece of rock. If Antigua understood that they can do this and let Dominica do this and let this one do that and so on, we would be able to sustain ourselves very well and live very well. But we have become competitive. We have become at a place where we want to build a nation by ourselves, and we will never be able to do that. And hence, we're destroying the whole of the region by our own egos.
Let me ask question you. One issue before you go. I'm just hearing the news. It's almost breaking news that the government of Dominica has decided to appeal the decision by the court to dismiss the incitement charge against the 3 United Workers' Party members, including, of course, Mr. James, Mr. Lennox Linton, and Dr. Fontaine. So they are appealing the decision by the judge. Are you surprised?
Well, I'm not. Let me tell you why I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because that's where the incumbent Labour Party is. They will fight and try to manipulate and keep fighting because they want to show themselves that might is right. That's where they are. So I'm not surprised at that. But it's downright stupid if you ask me, to appeal a matter like this, that the judge has been so scathing on. I don't see an appeals court going against that judge's decision the way that the decision was handed down, and that's my humble view.
Okay.
And sometimes I read the cases online and so on. It's my humble view that I don't see an appellant court supporting the government about that for varied reasons. Justice delayed is justice denied. You have the people in court for 8 years, and then you decide to charge them. I mean, it cannot stand anywhere. It can't stand in any court. And for me, the way the judge ruled on that matter and the details that he gave, it's going to be very difficult for the government to win that. But they'll put it in court and delay it, as they usually do, because if they delay it, then they put you under suffering.
And spending the taxpayers' money as well, a waste of time.
But that's what it is. But what they try to do is put you under suffering, because now these men have to find additional monies, to pay lawyers for this matter. And they figure the longer they drag it, the more broke you get, and they will break you, which is what is happening now in Dominica. So the government tries to break its citizens for stuff that the citizens are standing on. And I even see certain institutions trying to do that now, breaking their staff. You can't stand up. You can't go with your union. You can't have a union. That's what's happening in the country. And that's why I'm saying that this stand on the 19th must be an all-inclusive stand. Excuse me. The government and the country must know that there are some fed up people in this country, and we are willing to stand for our rights. Okay?
Pastor Rodney, thank you so much. It's the People's Cup.
The voice of the people is the voice of yeah. So go to the end, thou slaughtered, and consider its place.
Pastor Randy Rodney.
Leader or overseer, the ant, it had no family. The people's cup is filled and running over, running over. The people's cup is filled and running over, and them just can't take no more. The people, they want a revolution. The people, they want a revolution, or them just can't take no more. The people's cup is filled and running over, running over, running over. The people's cup is filled and running over, all them just can't. The voice of the people is the voice of yeah. So go to the end, thou slaughtered, and consider its place.
Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, you see when we say that the government is creating a situation for the people to revolt. And when they demonstrate, they want to put them before the court. We remember that Mr. Blackmore refused to tell us how much money they have already spent on this case. And he claimed that if he told us that it would create a security situation. But yet, they talk now about appealing this case to spend more millions. So let's say they've spent already 15 million. They're going to spend another 15 million, 30 million just to have the opposition before the court. Is that what it is? The people jointly, the laborites must wake up. That $30 million that would be spent, 15 already spent possibly, and another 15 to be spent on that case, must be used. People must see that that 30 million can be used differently. It can be used differently because Roosevelt Skerritt himself is promising them houses. 30 million worth of housing, public housing, would benefit the Dominican people rather than having it go to Trinidadian lawyers, man. The people must wake up. And if we have to demonstrate, we have to demonstrate. We will do it. We will do it jointly, and we will do it peacefully. But we must demonstrate and show Roosevelt Skerritt he cannot spend all our money just wasting it on Trinidadian lawyers for his sense gratification or whatever. Enough said, Matt. Thank you.
Speak of change.
That is the government trying to override the decision of the court after the court finalized the case. The government is trying to bully every institution in Dominica. That's the government against its people, and that's tyranny.
A change in the housing system, a change in the utility system, a change in the transportation system, a change in the security system.
People have been pleading, praying and crying out for change. Sincerely, I hope this will lead to a change of one-party rule. That's a WhatsApp message. The people cup is running over.
The people stop this building running over. All them just can't take no more. The people, they want a revolution. The people, they want a revolution. All them just can't take. When I speak for revolution, I speak of change in the taxation system, change in the jurisdictional system, change in the communication system, change in the agricultural system, change in the ministerial function, change in the constitution. Revolution. It's time to recognize our resources. As we need a change in the land improvement system, a change in the institutional system, a change in the unionization system, a change from this colonial system for a tired slave and master system. You hear? Don't stop this building running over.
Bonnie Willer. Somebody reminds me, listen to the sectors where Bonnie says, we need some change. Is it the same in Dominica? We need change. The people stop. Bonnie Willer.
So to the end, thou slaughtered it and consider it slave.
On
for having no
a lot of information here coming from JetBlue, the American airline there. Thank you for choosing JetBlue. We're importing you, or we're giving some updates here. Our partner, Airline Silver, which has been navigated a Chapter 11 reorganization, has unfortunately discontinued all flights to and from Dominica, effective immediately. We understand how disruptive this may be, and we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused. So if you're booked with Silver Airlines, you may have to do some rebooking, You have to change your reservations with Silver. They have declared bankruptcy. JetBlue says it truly appreciates your understanding and are sorry for this unexpected change. While we have not been able to the opportunity to welcome you on this trip, we hope we have the chance to serve you in the future. So those of you who may have booked with Silver Airlines, may have to do some rescheduling. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
You understand what the man singing there?
Of course, I understand. You asking me if I understand or you understand?
No, I'm just trying to share something with you.
Go ahead, yes.
He tell you, look at the ants.
Mm-hmm.
It's a piece of scripture he took in Proverbs chapter 6. He tell you, look, go and look at the ants and learn from them. So that means to say, when you see ants there, they want to see a piece of bread, they go out and call you other. Then some come this way left, north, south, east, and west, and they come in and they bring it inside their place. So when you see winter come, they don't have to go outside and work anymore because they have everything stocked up already. So that is the answer to that thing that he's trying to look at the ants. And that the Bible tells you that look at the ants. You know why it's in it. So if you take a look at them, how they were operating. Raccoon, thing and them, the beavers and many of those animals do the same thing. But the ants is the smallest little animal there. And that is how they work. They carry everything, everybody one way, everybody carry everything. They stock up. So no matter winters, whether it's hurricane or not, they have everything stocked up and they leave till this time over and they come back again. Thank you very much.
Revolution. The people, they want a revolution. Cause them just can't take. Oh. When I speak for revolution, I speak of change in the taxation system, change in the jurisdictional system, change in the communication system, change in the agricultural system, change in the ministerial function, change in the constitution. Revolution. It's not to recognize our resources. As we need a change in the land improvement system, a change in the institutional system, a change in the unionization system, a change from this colonial system. For we're tired of the slave and master system. You hear? People stop this building running over, running over, running over. People stop this building running over.
Now available at ESA Trading Limited showroom departments, a wide range of household items and accessories. Plates in porcelain, ceramic, clear and cordial. Bowls in glassware, plastic and porcelain. Pot sets and frying pan sets. Glasses for all occasions. Knife sets and cutlery. Water jugs and storage containers. Wooden spoon sets. Dish strainers. Chopping boards. Bath towels, shower curtains, bed sheet sets, curtain rods, living room sets, recliners, and dining room sets, mats and rugs, and so much more. All at unbeatable prices. Visit us today. We are located at the corner of Kennedy Avenue and Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard, Roseville. ESA Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
When I'm out and it's my time to play, it's actually not big crew, making a difference for you. I hear you get rocked anytime you drink it. The XM will bring 15 years. The XM Royal, 10 years. XM 5 years, and the 750 milliliter bartender. Come on, pass me a bunch. Dance extra matcha, premium blend. Try out the 200 or the 750 ml. Yeah, man, guaranteed for any occasion. Say you can't go wrong with dance from. Hey, you can test the quality. Thanks, yeah, more than Sunday. Thanks, supreme high wine, the totally white wine. And for the cake, greater than me, thanks, every brandy. I give thanks, contest the quality. When I'm out and it's my time to play, it's that trading and the crew making a difference for you. I hear you get ranks anytime you drink it. Remember, drink responsibly. Fresh market, where money don't come and money don't touch you. A fresh market, it's a fine day. We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stocked supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh Market, your one stop. Where money don't come and your pocket don't touch you. Fresh Market, never disappointed. Fresh Market. Malibu Creole, baby, Creole. Mouvement créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio Créole qui présenté. Mouvement créole. Tous les mardis soirs entre 6 et après-midi. Information, blague, interview, histoire, proverbe, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames, tous les mardis soirs. QFM qui est frappé avec bon power créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Timamaïla. Mouvement créole à seconde station QFM. Watchez avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6 heures pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça. Hello, good afternoon. Sorry about that.
Let's open up the rest of the afternoon. Hello, talk to me. Good afternoon. Hello? 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 We're having a problem with that line. Sorry. Let's listen again to the voice of Mia Motley out of Barbados. Barbados.
This matter with the Cubans and the nurses should tell us everything that we need to know. Barbados does not currently have Cuban medical staff or Cuban nurses, but I will be the first to go to the line and to tell you that we could not get through the pandemic without the Cuban nurses and the Cuban doctors. I will also be the first to tell you that we paid them the same thing that we paid Bajans, and that the notion, as was peddled not just by this government in the US, but the previous government, that we were involved in human trafficking by engaging with the Cuban nurses was fully repudiated and rejected by us. Now, I don't believe that we have to shout across the seas, but I am prepared, like others in this region, that if we cannot reach a sensible agreement on this matter, then if the cost of it is the loss of my visa to the US, then so be it. But what matters to us is principles. And I have said over and over that principles only mean something when it is inconvenient to stand by it. No, we don't have to shout, but we can be resolute. And I therefore look forward to standing with my CARICOM brothers. I wish I could say brothers and sisters, but brothers, to be able to ensure that we explain that what the Cubans have been able to do for us, far from approximating itself to human trafficking, has been to save lives and limbs and sight for many a Caribbean person.
All right, Dominica, let's go to the telephone. Of course, we get a few phone calls at this time. The numbers again, if you're joining us for the first time, 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. What's going on here? Let's go to the telephone. Are you there? Yes? Hello? Hello? Seem to be having some problem with the line there. Sorry about that. Try another line, okay? Matt, a lot of commendations going out to all the parties, political groups, civic groups, and patriots involved in this call for free and fair elections in Dominica. The call for the people, particularly the young people of Dominica, to come out in support of the protest on Wednesday 19th, as far as I'm concerned, is crucial. Interestingly, I've been reliably informed that the ruling party is planning for an election soon. Reasons why the people must come out in large numbers on Wednesday 19th is to send a strong message to the government of Dominica. Send a strong message to the government of Dominica. Thank you. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, no, we're not going to stand up only for electoral results because how you can go in and pass a law without you have an opposition leader, even though the opposition is weak, but you're supposed to have an opposition leader, and we are not going to ask for anything else than resignation of the government. That is, to me, that is it. And we're supposed to have about 4,000 people at least by that parliament.
You say 4,000 people? 4,000.
About that.
Okay. You say about 4,000 people. All right. Thank you. Let's see. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Mark,
Yes.
I am trying to understand something.
What are you trying to understand?
Me emotionally, I'm trying to understand something. Is she saying that there is prostitution going on?
Prostitution? When did you hear that?
Well, I trying to ask you, is she saying that because you must listen to what she's saying in the clipping, and she's still saying that why some of the leaders not coming because they are cowards, and she's also saying she wish that she could see brothers and sisters. You understand?
I'm following
So
you.
I want to call on the national security to ask him what is going on there now. And name out, let's not telling us about those kind of things. Johnson don't give us that tell us that they have more money in the passport thing and they develop better than us. I want to know what name what we about at this present moment. It seems to me as in attacking was very scary. It was very scary to come and say something. But right now, it's very scary have to come and see if you're on board with them or if you're on another board. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about. So we're calling on the Prime Minister and the National Security. I want to tell you, you're not taking too much time to come say something to the nation. So you want to come up on the radio station and say something that me what to say again. Not me say me what to say that she don't think you how much $1 million of taxes from a French person that she hire and she gonna pay all she people them before me. And you never hear Prime Minister ever tell people I going to pay simple money from Social Security or anything going on in the country. So Mr. Prime Minister, why don't you come tell the people right now before you hit get more, that Donald Trump is jumping everybody now. So we want to know what you're doing hiding the fence. Come on, being fair, because me and this that will expose you on already, man.
I suspect you want to go to Barbados to leave right now. 2:21 is the afternoon time. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Hello, good afternoon, Matt.
How are you? How are you? Yes.
I'm good. You can remember when this gentleman said that police should not work, teachers should not work, people should not work.
I remember that. I think I still have
You
that
can
clip.
remember that clearly.
I remember that. Yes.
So I think, everybody should come out on Wednesday. Everybody should come out on Wednesday. Police should not work, teachers should not work, people should not work. Just come out and support. It's for God.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is therefore very concerning to me that the United Workers' Party and its associates.
No, I was looking for something else. 449-3095-96 and 97. Let's continue here. We'll try to get a clip before we move on, or we end this afternoon's program. That clip, famous clip from Mr. Charles Sovereign.
impossible to understand that there is anything which has happened, was about to happen, or was happening in Dominica which could justify the action taken by the government this morning. Nothing at all. The people who gathered peacefully to ask let their elected representatives see that they were totally opposed to the measure which was being tabled in Parliament. According to Mr. Savarin, anti-government forces in Dominica are planning a ram-type confrontation, and he believes the government will find it extremely difficult to govern. The public service will not work. The hospitals will not work. The fire service will not work. The prison service will not work. The water department will not work. The post offices, the ports, the administrative setup will not work. The private sector unions will also keep their members out on strike. We will be prepared to stay out for as long as it takes because we believe that the lives of the people of this country must be protected against the government, which will only link itself. I mean, we have to take the government in perspective. Government is dangerous to us and dangerous to the region as a whole. That was Mr. Sanford in 1979. You want to hear it again? It is impossible to understand that there is anything which has happened, was about to happen, or was happening in Dominica which could justify the action taken by the government this morning. Nothing at all. The people who gathered peacefully to ask let their elected representatives see that they were totally opposed to the measure which was being tabled in Parliament. According to Mr. Savarin, anti-government forces in Dominica are planning a ram-type confrontation, and he believes the government will find it extremely difficult to govern. The public service will not work. The hospitals will not work. The fire service will not work. The prison service will not work. The water department will not work. The post offices, the ports, the administrative setup will not work. The private sector unions will also keep their members out on strike. We will be prepared to stay out for as long as it takes because we believe that the lives of the people of this country must be protected against the government, which will only link itself. I mean, we have to take the government in perspective. Government is dangerous to us and dangerous to the region as a whole.
Of hope and love. The melody blends as we join hands with faith in God above. Dr. Martin Luther King now tells us of this song.
It has become the theme song. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. Though I join hands so often with students and others behind jail bars singing it, we shall overcome. Sometimes we've had tears in our eyes when we joined together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome. No, before this victory is won, some will have to get thrown in jail some more, but we shall overcome. Don't worry about us. Before the victory is won, some of us will lose jobs, but we shall overcome. Before the victory is won, even some will have to face physical death. But physical death is the price that some must pay to free their children from a permanent psychological death. Then nothing shall be more redemptive. We shall overcome. Before the victory is won, some will be misunderstood and called bad names and dismissed as rabble rousers and agitators. But we shall overcome. And I'll tell you why. We shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. We shall overcome because Carlyle is right. No lie can live forever. We shall overcome because William Cullen Bryant is right. Truth crushed to earth will rise again. We shall overcome because James Russell Lowell is right. Truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. Yet that scaffold sways the future. Behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. We shall overcome because the Bible is right. That's your soul. Overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. And with this faith, we will go out and adjourn the councils of despair and bring new light into the dark chambers of pessimism. And we will be able to rise from the fatigue of despair to the buoyancy of hope. And this will be a great America. We will be the participants in making it so. And so as I leave you this evening, I say, walk together, children. Don't you get weary. There's a great chap meeting. People have to decide, do you want a man, Roosevelt Skerrit, to lead the country who have been mounting and mounting a dictatorship? You know what the Lennox have sacrificed? You know what people like Ezekiel Basil have sacrificed? Then they want to arrest you because you are fighting for them to talk the truth on certain matters. You know what Joshua Francis have sacrificed? Right now, you have poor people in this country. They can't even get proper jobs. We are resolved that he has to resign. You have people, fishermen, struggling, farmers struggling. We have fertilizer, we hiding the fertilizer. To me, in fact, I'm not going to talk too much. What I will be saying is steer it Moscow. So Dominicans have to decide whether they want a dictator to run the country or they want a team of people who standing for democracy to run the country. Yeah, the people there.
Are you want to hear it again?
People have to decide, do you want a man, Roosevelt Skerrit, to lead the country who have been mounting and mounting a dictatorship? You know what the Lennox have sacrificed? You know what people like Ezekiel Basil have sacrificed? Then they want to arrest you because you are fighting for them to talk the truth on certain matters. You know what Joshua Francis have sacrificed? Right now, you have poor people in this country. They can't even get proper jobs. We are resolved that he has to resign. You have people, fishermen, struggling, farmers struggling. We have fertilizer, we hiding the fertilizer. To me, in fact, I'm not going to talk too much. What I will be saying is steer it Moscow. So Dominicans have to decide whether they want a dictator to run the country or they want a team of people who standing for democracy to run the country. Yeah, the people there.
Wow. They say politics makes strange bedfellows, huh? Now, Mr. Isaac is the Speaker of the House. But facts are stubborn things. Just a reminder, let's go to the telephone. It's now 2:29. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, first of all, right off the bat,
Tell me.
we the people of Dominica have to prepare ourselves to hold the United Workers Party responsible in a fashion that we've never seen before. I'm saying that, and I'm not making a mistake when I say that, because we've neglected to hold the Dominica Labour Party responsible. We cannot allow the Labour Party and Labour Rights, you cannot allow Roosevelt Skerrit to spend another $15 million unknown dollars. They must tell us how much they have already spent on this case. They must tell us. The Speaker of the House, Isaac, with all his flaws, he allowed the question to be asked, and the question was asked, and the Minister of Security refused to answer it. He must answer it and give us an exact figure of how much money has been spent on that case. If it is 15 million or more, let us know. Don't tell us about security risk. You've already created a security risk, and you're doubling down by trying to have some kind of resurrection of this case, some kind of appeal, which is totally nonsense. How much more of our money are you going to spend on this case? Labor rights. You must not allow this. This is not a partisan issue. This is wanton disregard If the Labour Party wants to really find out, let them take their own case. But they cannot be using our money. Enough said, Matt. Thank you.
It is impossible to understand that anything which has happened, was about to happen, or was happening in Dominica, which would justify the action taken by the government this morning. Nothing at all. The people gathered peacefully to ask let their elected representatives see that they were totally opposed to the measure which was being tabled in Parliament.
According to Mr. Savering, anti-government forces in Dominica are planning a ram-type confrontation, and he believes the government will find it extremely difficult to govern.
The public service will not work. The hospitals will not work. The fire service will not work. The prison service will not work. The water department will not work. The post offices, the courts, the administrative setup will not work. The private sector unions will also keep their members out on strike. We will be prepared to stay out for as long as it takes, because we believe that the lives of the people of this country must be protected against the government, which will only link itself. I mean, we have to take the government in perspective. Government is dangerous to us and dangerous to the region as a whole.
The voice of the people is the voice of and consider its space for having no due leader or overseer. The ant, it hath no family. The people's cup is filled and running over.
235, hello, yes?
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, I remember Charles Sumner very well, man, when he made those statements. I was a fire officer in those days when he told us we shouldn't go out to work. And I was so surprised when that man became the president of Dominica. And he was under house arrest by the same Labour people before he became president. He, Maxime, and Tim, the top executives of the CSA, were all placed under house arrest. But that man has no shame, and he'll never have any kind of shame. Then he became their president from the same Labour Party. Lord have mercy. Stop the man.
The people's stuff is filled and running over. All them just can't take no more. The people, they want a revolution. 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 The people, they want a revolution. Cause them just can't take no more. And when I speak of a revolution, I speak of change. Change in the political system, change in the welfare system, a change in the medical system, and a change in the educational system.
Oh, mad, oh my God, can you believe some criminals? Oh my God.
A change in the housing system, a change in the utility system, a change in the transportation system, a change in the security system, a change in the banking system, and a change in the industrial system. The people's stuff is filled and running over, running over, running over. The people's stuff is filled and running over. All them just can't take no more. The people, they want a revolution. 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 The people, they want a revolution. All them just can't take no more. When I speak for revolution, I speak of change in the taxation system, change in the jurisdictional system, change in the communication system, change in the agricultural system, change in the ministerial function, change in the constitution. Revolution. It's time to recognize our resources.
Hello, yes?
Yeah, at the time of Charles Darwin, union leaders were not waiting on government for nothing. But those days here, right now, we haven't got union leaders that are independent. All of them are waiting on government for something. So they will not say this yet and they cannot work. Because if they say that, they will stop getting what they getting from government. Thank you very much.
That's the theme song for the afternoon. The People's Cup is running over.
The voice of the people is the voice of yeah, yeah, yeah. So go to the end, thou sluggard, and consider its place. For having no due leader or overseer, the ant, yeah, no family. The people's cup is filled and running over, running over, running over. The people's cup is filled and running over, and them just can't take no more. The people, they want a revolution, revolution, revolution. The people, they want a revolution, or them just can't take no more. The people's cup is filled and running over, running over, running over. The people's cup is filled and running over, all them just can't take no more. The people, they want a revolution, revolution, revolution. The people, they want a revolution, cause them just can't take no more. We shall. And when I speak of a revolution, I speak of change. Change in the political system, change in the welfare system, a change in the medical system, and a change in the educational system. Revolution. A change in the housing system, a change in the utility system, a change in the transportation system, a change in the security system, a change in the banking system, and a change in the industrial system. The people's stuff is filled and running over, running over, running over. The people's stuff is filled and running over, all them just can't take no more. The people, they want a revolution, revolution, revolution. The people, they want a revolution, cause them just can't take no more. Reparation.
Some persons are complaining that they're not able to receive the reception because Flow may have a problem. So Flow, please check your lines, huh?
System. Change the agricultural system. Change in the ministerial function. Change in the constitution.
Hello, talk to me, yes? Yes?
Yes. The sad thing about the government of Dominica and the governments in the Caribbean today, Mr. Pelte, is that they are worse than the colonial masters. This black governments in the Caribbean treating black people worse than the white man ever did. These people, they have no shame. And they want to talk about what America is doing, about what this person is doing. Treat your people differently. Treat your people with dignity. When a black government can be going after the people for standing on the street and using tear gas on them, and then you want to talk about Trump, you want to talk about America, man, tell you will go to hell.
Resources. As we need a change in the land improvement system, a change in the institutional system, a change in the unionization system, a Change from this colonial system. For we tired of the slave and master system. You hear? Don't stop this feeling running over, running over, running over. People stop this feeling running over. Dominica, big things are going. 19th of March, 2025. We the people will assemble outside of the nation's parliament to show we are in charge of our destiny and to set the agenda for change that will bring Dominica from beggar days to better days. We stand to take control because elections in Dominica over the past 20 years under the governance of the Dominica Labour Party have not been fair and the consequences have been brutal. The laws to be debated in Parliament on March 19th will not make the electoral system fit for the purpose of fair elections. The overall purpose of the changes to the House of Assembly Elections Act and the Registration of Electors Act and the proposed Electoral Commission Act is to ensure unfair elections for the benefit of the ruling Dominica Labour Party as the norm in Dominica. Under the proposed laws, the electoral process will remain tainted with rules that allow for blatant violations of fair electoral practice and procedures. The proposed laws support an unfair system for electing members to Parliament. In this unfair system, the voters list, the foundation of the electoral process, will include persons who are no longer eligible to vote based on the constitutional requirement of residency in Dominica. In this unfair system, persons who are not resident in Dominica will vote for representation in the Parliament of Dominica where they cannot be represented against the interests of resident Dominicans who have to live with the consequences of election results. In this unfair system, persons not resident in Dominica will be bribed with payment of their transportation expenses and gifts of money to vote for representation in the Parliament where they cannot be represented against the interests of resident Dominicans who have to live with the consequences of election results. In this unfair system, ruling party bribery and treating will be settled practices, providing money, gifts, free travel, free entertainment, goods and services in exchange for votes. In this unfair system, there is no provision to eliminate, one, the abuse of state resources such as public funds or government-operated facilities to support the ruling party and its candidates, and two, clear breaches of civil service staff regulations where public servants are openly supportive of the ruling party. In this unfair system, there is no restriction on election campaign spending, no regulation of sources of election campaign funding, and no provisions against money having controlling influence in our political system, thereby allowing elections to be determined and or purchased by big money interest or criminal enterprises. In this unfair system, there will be ruling party interference with vote counts in constituencies declared for the opposition, altering the results at polling stations, or during recounts where votes are counted over and over and over until the numbers are made to favor the ruling party. In this unfair system, there are no provisions for obligating radio, TV, newspaper, and other public communication bodies to ensure that political parties and any independent candidates participating in elections have equal access to all media during the campaign period. In this unfair system, the Electoral Commission, mandated by the Constitution to function independently, will continue to operate under the direction and control of the ruling party. For the better part of the last 2 decades, calls for electoral reform, including a clean voters list and voter ID requirements, have been consistently ignored or delayed by the ruling party. The proposed new and revised election laws fall short of addressing the critical matter of removing the taints on the electoral process to clear the way for fair elections in Dominica. On March 19th, 2025, as we face this existential threat to the democratic way of life we hold dear,
We the people must assemble in the largest numbers ever outside of Parliament to establish our power and authority and to demand laws for fair elections. The lack of fair elections has turned Dominica into a de facto one-party state. The right to decide who serves in government has been taken away from the people by one man who wants to stay in power forever. Government of unfair elections is not accountable to the people. Over $8 billion of the people's money from the sale of the people's passports are under the custody and control of foreign friends of the dictatorial regime born out of unfair elections. Hundreds of millions of dollars leave Dominica every single year through the employment of foreign nationals in jobs that Dominicans are willing and able to do. Government of unfair elections is not working for the people. Government ministers of unfair elections are working for their own personal enrichment while making people poorer. No real growth in the economy. Agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, services, all in stagnation or on life support. Unemployment is rising. The purchasing power of wages and salaries is declining. Everybody breaks. The struggle to meet the cost of living, food, clothing, shelter, transportation, lights, water, telephone, medicine, school fees, and school supplies just keeps getting harder and harder. On March 19th, 2025, we come together from every corner of Dominica to put government in its rightful place as a servant of the people committed to doing the people's work, beginning with proper electoral reform for fair elections. If not, then by any means necessary, this regime of unfair elections will have to go.
Get together. 2:47 in the afternoon. Allowing the music to speak, huh? The message in the song.
Together. Victoria Street supposed to belong to the people on that day. The whole of Victoria Street should belong to the people. They should claim it once and for all. That's all, and everything will be all right. Together and be all right. Oh. You're to be found. One. Together and be one love. And I'll be again, together, be let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. One love. There will be no doom. One soul. Between us, we can sit from standing. There is no there. People have to decide, do you want a man, Roosevelt Skerrit, to lead the country who have been mounting and mounting a dictatorship? You know what the Lennox have sacrificed? You know what people like Ezekiel Bassett have sacrificed? Then they want to arrest you because you are fighting for them to talk the truth on certain matters. You know what Joshua Francis have sacrificed? Right now, you have poor people in this country. They can't even get proper jobs. We are resolved that he has to resign. You have people, fishermen, struggling, farmers struggling. We have fertilizer, we hiding the fertilizer. To me, in fact, I'm not going to talk too much. What I will be saying is steer it Moscow. So Dominicans have to decide whether they want a dictator to run the country or they want a team of people who standing for democracy to run the country. Yeah, the people there. Steer it,
Whoa, I had a dream. Boy, once I had a dream. Politicians hold significant power to shape the future for you and me through the right decisions, policies, and leadership. They can either empower the young people or create barriers that will stifle our ambition and potential to be the best we can be. So, Mr. PM, what's going on? The more we try and try, distance breaking down. You created an illusion, an imagination of a bright, prosperous, wealthy nation. Some call you a mama Gaia, I call you a heartbreaker and a dream killer. We had plenty hope, but no, we can't cope. You're a dream killer. Disregard of mental health while you busy gaining wealth. You're a dream killer. From the NEP, working for small money. You're a dream killer. You present a lot of things, we believe in you. No our life passing by, nothing coming through. There's a lot of promises, fulfilling of you. There is big celebration for us to praise you. Hey, we have a dream. Oh, I want children have a dream. So many sent overseas to study, especially those who support the party. Them workers were blue back, that their parents gave you the X. But every time Felicia come on Facebook Live, the things she exposing makes me want to cry. I wonder why you acting so sly and how my kids getting by. They say a promise is a comfort to a fool. Some kind of graduate, you don't pay the school. All we hear is excuses and more promises, while the students don't want their needs. Some call you a big trickster, I call you a heartbreaker and a dream killer. We had plenty hope, but no, we can't cope. You're a dream killer. Disregard of mental health while you busy getting well. You're a dream killer. Come in NEP, working for small money. You're a dream killer. You present a lot of things, we believe in you. No, our life passing by, nothing coming through. It is so embarrassing while you there smiling. There's a grumbling, she call it twisting. Hey, oh, you feel it, I had a dream. I have a dream. With hard work and determination, we can reach our destination through access to capital, education, mentorship. But consider yourself as a young man, stuck in the cycle of stagnation, where corruption creates imitation and overwhelming sense of frustration. Every day he faces the harsh reality. He cannot provide for his family, losing his dignity and his sanity while still waiting for his opportunity. Some call you a blood sucker, I call you a heartbreaker and a dream killer. We had plenty hope, but no, we can't cope. You're a dream killer. We got no mental health while you busy getting well. You're a dream killer. Stuck in NEP, working for small money. You're a dream killer. You present a lot of things, we believed in you. No hope was like passing by, nothing coming through. Who can run will run, who cannot will stay. Waiting for election day to get out there. Oh, we have a dream. Oh, we have a dream. Time for reflection, a time for redemption. Someone's knocking at our door. Ask Granny, listen to this station, her room recollection, sitting right there on her throne. Granny said it wasn't like this before. Papa God, radio funny for nouvelle for. News of young men losing their lives, just running tears from her eyes, while searching for a solution to save our paradise. Granny had the perfect advice. Well, it seems like the signs of the end of time. Holy Shabbat, holy rosary, and it won't just seems so hard to find. Holy Shabbat, holy rosary, one day there'll be no more wrongs, no wars and crime. Holy Shabbat, holy rosary, we'll be singing one sweet song of love and pride. Holy Shabbat, holy rosary, Mama say one prayer a day can keep the evil away. Just say one our Father and 10 Hail Marys and pray for my country. Holy Chaplain, roll your rosary. Boy, 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 boy. Take it for our children and our young men, for they need it the most. Because you expect to protect them, will disrespect them, sometimes rise at their homes. Granny say it wasn't like this before. Papa God, your sons can't handle a boat well no more.
to prove they is man. Good night, my people of the air. Time to overturn the carpet. We've been dying of West Baby. Now we are forced to speak. The Chinese are new masters. We have to discuss these matters. We remain silent in the darkness, yeah. Just hoping for the best. But things are changing much too quick. And I'm there dying to see. So speak out, my brother. Time to stand up and speak. Oh. Speak before the age becomes the next Gaza Street. Speak out, my sisters, if like me you're disturbed by this. Whoa, whoa.